dwumadi ahodro ene yedidi dwuma ye mfie ye nsoro mo event ase conventions ene dwumadi nyina ase no madaroma edum ye ne Sambra Hotel ne die nimhwe nkran ye Zongole Benjelo Abrosan mo ebia osika nso obesa wo to na ucha ne kaka nso a obetumi afrem penifo san hyehye na wo ho 0244941047 0244941047 now the KFM Musical Center ending come
ye free KFM Musical Center dia ne ekwa akopie mu ewo talent microfinance ye bo wonum so din dia na ye sikasem ho adwuma e na wonum eye nti usikasem bia ya adwendwen aya tete aye kwanana e dia man kopie mu wonum akache na omo hwenye siesie no emfa ma o sike bi da baby sisi anu ni dia wo de be na pe baby akra ne dia talent se fabra no mo fantu baby ye ma wa se be yo how ni chiwa show bia entimi embechi afenso sorry numeku ni ankrankra hodo amuhia sika edi abobrade edi dwuma no omoma besiansi hu no ewo fompa no nya sempeto ade anse obebo anan no akwakopie mu ewo biaya wono ewo nam edwumaden eni oma ho famanti no manta medo ne de oma tretre oma kwaban akwakojumbo edwumaden den de tweben hu no na chese wetimi epini omo na ene sikasem hyehyɛ ni dwumedie ni nyina no talent microfinance oma hwe no medisa adwuma no edi ama
na dada ba take out several beje phone sa papa ade ho akade me ba cho fiti phone bia Android iPhone iPad e ho akade bia de obapie mu e wo dada ba take over me ba cho obenya bi e wo obehu ye kira kwan ye wo connection enkran connection ye ben takwa station me bia buses no lodu na ho no mo a e na obehu dada ba take up ne awonte ase enkyeremu bia aka obeso obetu bi ekoton obeso obeton ba ko nso asan hyehye no ne nyina ho 0206016037 now ne dada ba take up jumeko adaroma e no mlisi kasem e de aso ya sen na no pay ya tenase a ye de kase be so na ye adwumafo nyina afo fida na ye wa ha ye adwuma enti no esem no ne be de ma akotin bi eni Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayene e de wa ba bonten se sobo a ye Kwame A+ obin asare de bono no wo chem se enye no kre
yebe concern from na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wa pao eye Supreme Court 7 justices se ombepiem na ntimi mboa ma ya temu asem no ntimi enkonanim
na wadwede ensemo ababa todwa se amanfo kaga se ECG aban beton se da bi ora John Gina Pochen se nya no kre na wo na aban no pe kwan na kwanya so betumi afa so ma ECG no etumi afa na tuma pefra
yebe kwa enigidi ensemo amare so ababe kasa ne nsem bi okan ya no de kwa ma ye shatawale namso e ma nkofo bebre na kasafo a e bim fans no wo che se omoma adwebrebro ento na nsem ti a okan ye ne de ekoso ni chemu oso e wo kase nme na no pe
ese bo nsem no doso na no pe ya tena se de somo e wo KFM kasamfo ni so ya da se wo hwe ye wo fie edi o hwe ye wo fie konkoni ya na fia se bia boko de bia da na akwan mu na o coffee color em fa pa mi agaza adie black ni adie bi ni sum bia em color ba mitumu o fine pa ba da mitumu nyesu ba me pe afade e yesum niema no na me nije ho o se mtasha black pa ha me she black na ma ho fa ba we am a say my home for nedum my home for na ba ye eje bia na opese wo che obi obi afo fida pa opese wo wish obi happy workers day and ase may day me pa cho fabra ana no pe yem be phone la kakra won ne mu ni nkomo na yem misa mo sane amadwuma sem mutie we ene holiday entino entumi share da anya ne one man level bi asa entu dia ye be wie news na ye be bie phone la be Christian charge phone no ye be bie phone la be 10 minutes bi na ye ne amanfo ndi Ghana adwuma se ne Ghana adwuma tie o hawa e bia adwuma wo ye wo famu ne ye ni nkomo ene ye da ene afofida entino ene formula bia enti obetumi da afa 0246239070 0246239070 edin no ye Odiyifo Yaw chas still I be crache Afia lengo wine na no pay me ne coffee brown
Afia Fosuah Oduahoma Sresrebidi mefia twane short e ma meje so kama yentwa ye ho yembra sisi
was chanting my medicine. I'm some call baby na Yaji Brenada Jenny ransom no emu. Na Nashi Jenny at the Madesha one more. I will go more central baton persuas one film mantemu. Kwame Asare Obeng. Nemono ahote din ba kon ekita no ene ne mra ne a eja guess ne boys in the manual A+. No ya nyum tuni ene ne ewiem nsakra ya ba ema wakwa ya mra sebedwani shebre sesanfo asesa ne shebre na Kwame A+ ehya ase ena Dr. Dominic Ayene temuafo peni ewo man Ghana mu Attorney General na sam na me kan what is so so penny, who cried them dear, Catasha, Dream, dear, Precan can be, or do one for the one. Now, and now some look the jar, and penny for say, Utinase. Now your board, you may be ya, na a concantino. Dr. Dominic Ayen and Randy, a friend and for Shemo, Eba Bonte, at the Assembly in Yano, to me at the Baye. Now, no chance near Asari or being air can say, Ebra obabeji abenwa no asem di ahuduo bi no a wotwetwetwetwem no akɔgyegeja dem die de fi san nkrofo no nkyɛn ɛne na mo no twem no ɔkyem sa asem no nokra biara ni munti no we no kamia sɛ ɛyɛ boapayo bi amanfo bi na ɛtɛkyi no mo yɛ yoduom ɔso ɔno ɛhɔ no wɔte no ɔnya amanyɔsɛm ɔmfo obi ho tan na nka so ayɛ hwehwɛni mu ayɛ yi mu na mo no ɔba so ɔbɛso man Ghana Dr. Dominic Ayene nkyere mo de maye eni
know this for a fact, and the president would not have appointed me his attorney general if he had questions about my personal integrity. That is why it came to me as a big surprise when the honorable member for Zitgomoa Central, the honorable Kwame Asare Obeng, aka A+, took to social media to make spurious allegations against me, calling me corrupt and a thief. Besides the name calling, the Facebook post in its totality was a palpable falsehood. I was never involved in the passage of the sanitation levy, as I was not a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, let alone to be in a position to influence the composition of the membership of the committee. And I have the Hansard as documentary support for what I'm saying. I have the votes and proceedings of Parliament. Unfortunately, I left them in the office. I think I have them here. Yes. So, for the media, the report of the committee as well as the vote and proceedings are here. If you want to do some research on the matter that he alleged that I was involved and I channeled, I made sure that the membership of the committee was, changed, and then the monies from the sanitation levy were channeled to my friend, and so on and so forth. I'm not friends with whoever was the beneficiary of the sanitation levy. But interestingly, A+ warned me in the post not to do anything silly, and that he will come after me if I did. That is laughable. First of all, I do not act silly, because I think through the consequences of my actions, not only for my person, but also for others. That is what we were taught in Notre Dame Minor Seminary, and I am proud to say, without fear of any contradiction, that I have kept faith with that principle. Secondly, the threat is laughable because I have nothing to hide. I am reliably informed that his basis of saying that I am corrupt and a thief is that I took campaign contribution from a businessman at East Legon known as
Ebusian free sansem no ni ento aso konsem foforo and farmer dia and Kramantam so food munyamfo Linda Oklu wono ene kasei na wo chese se ne betimi aboa ama West Municipal Assembly ya waso wonom mainly catch penya on munyamfo Michael Mense abonidin na nkenkofo hwe ni mu senko betimi aba benya dibra womoto abere nkunimdi anko amfa ama no chese ogusuan mpanyifo kasa hyehyehwe ni so betimi asan so ato aba ni biem no mehu baby no credie no ebetimi akwa akoto no credie ndi ankwa amane mum ne so hwe animu se one nkofo no kasawie eni afenso mo ayawa so West Municipal Assembly ho na o metimi nyanti ase mapa no majora Michael mensa atum se be o meto abayi no abaye mensni krachi panyi was sabro no so ni hwe mu amami editudwa eni
had a lengthy discussion and they gave us, they told us confidently that they are going to approve the president nominee. Unfortunately, only for us to say what we just saw. And so what we have to do now is to go back to the table, re-strategize, and come back.
What could have gone wrong?
I cannot really tell, my dear. I don't know because I'm not there with them. So, that is why they're saying that fear delegates. My dear, look at the fans he got when after addressing the people. So I don't know what really happened. So this is the time we have to, because we told them to make amends with people. They may have felt that they are offended, and so that all these things wouldn't happen, because this is the first case and president nominee was rejected. So like I said, we'll go back to the table, re-strategize and come back. And the rest, we are still talking to the assembly members. Some of them are peeved. They said, this person did this to me, this person did that. And so we are telling the nominee, it wouldn't take anything from you, even if you know to beg that person. It wouldn't take anything.
I was trying to talk about some family no pay na opening kwanjefa na oda National Service Board no Signals Bureau kwabna edubuan na asem to dwa ma me ka say no wono mo twe na abasa ne sra ma ene de akwakopia asem de bia ma womo de kwadu ene de agbo wono ne yere ena afa nipa mienu a eka eho na kwadu no eni edoso 1 2 3 kwadu baba ko enson ena womo ede agbo owura kwabna edubuan ya ne nyina no womo gina ma mra ye de bu oman Ghana Afia hankron ede okromi enu so ena womo ede saa sobo no etumi bo na Dr. Dominic Ayine ekire mo se ne edi kan nipa miense wo mu no kwadu om de abo om ne se krono stealing or say 3 count of stealing na no okokopie mu section 124 criminal act no 1960 act 29 na eho ena omu gina ye no mu de adwuma ena ne tosumie no say wono aka mo ti abomu anaso maye o madwen say wo mbe bokro no mewia conspiracy to steal eno so no okokopie mu ewo criminal act no ma section 23 clause 1 no emu ena ewo ena afi ne toso miensa the defrauding by false pretense na say wo ma fa kana na kwan so boapayo kwan so ena omobu amanfo ena ne toso willfully causing financial loss. Next, omo fi omo pemu, omo fi omo adwene no akoma mu nyina ena eja omo bo man ne eka eno nso ne sobu a wono ebo ho using public office for profit and collaboration to commit sin. There's a woman agina oman no asoya na se ne bobre so ena eja womo ede abokro no ewo ho no mo eno ene ehonsam a ebeto ntimi ka se kwadu ahodro a ene de yetumi de abomo a womo nkoko gina Accra High Court na atemu a ebetumi efrimu de aba no yetumi ede ama owura kwabena edubu ahe ne yere ena afa nipa mienu a eka eho
Ebusia egusua ewo sansem no emu na Attorney General Ora Dominic Ayine wono anegusu kase na nsem no wode ko ede ama edubu ahe ene afi ne ho kani ne omonsem etwegu ne afi so kwadu ahodo yede abo wono mu no wo kyerese ne betimi aboa ama His Excellency John Dramani Mahama idana koma so nani so ade hunu se keta se she dream ne kro no kankan proye ne ma no obeyi edi fro man Ghana ha enu nti na wade sa nkrofo mienu aba begina mrani ma ni wonom ba bedi sanse se we kita di brekesie bi pen anase mpo wako wanim wa amemmu ni amane osemu pen ahwe edi domani ma eno kyerese bi ofom anase otofo ma yentimi ma wungina mrani nim ti we kyerese emfa huni bra we kita na emum no ofum mrani ndia enu bedi sene se na efata Ora Dominic nesem no eni.
In consequence, and in exercise of the power conferred on me under Article 88 of the Constitution, I have today filed charges against Mr. Edubuahi, his wife Angela Ajay-Botting, one Mildred Donko, a former employee of UMB Bank, who resigned just in time to join in the criminal enterprise, and a company called Advantage Solutions Limited, a holding company owned by Mr. Oduahoma and his wife, which received a substantial portion of the funds and was used as a conduit for funneling the funds into other companies owned by them. These other companies are Vertex Properties Limited, Vertex Solutions, and of course, the famous BNC Communications Bureau Limited, which was, if you remember, that was a vehicle that was used to steal the 49,100,000 Ghana cedis from the national security accounts. Based on the evidence on the docket, we have charged Mr. Oduahoma with stealing, 3 counts of stealing, 1 count of defrauding by false pretenses, another count of willfully causing financial loss to the state, another count of using public office for profit and money laundering. His wife, Angela Ajay-Boateng, has been charged with conspiracy to steal, collaboration to commit the crime of using public office for private benefit or profit, conspiracy to commit money laundering and money laundering. In the case of Mildred Donko, we have charged her with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit money laundering.
Dominica, no. What man else, man, and some of the or shall say FA plus, no, and or bar down, and they see down below. Now, back was I say, oh, we are with the abode in an chain. Was in the Intia at Temuno Ache, and I'm on Van Gong with Jinam Rano, and as I will Hana we have for, oh, Edubuahe, or what is Kebuana, or an anno between Skebua, Avid of Gongo. Yes, Kafu Ghana Water Company for Chamba, and then we at 630,000 Ghana cedis be. Almost I don't say no, I'm from Rakwanso. A fan chain baby say and a buyer, and no nanchen. Now, and or no a Duba and Ankas company Bakumbia. Now, when you're moving Dankran, a woman and a Mujiji says Cano, and then I'm Sunti, and I summon Achen, and more fade, and in our Mosaka, and no more to me, and this I temuno, and ya not to me at about 9 Dr. Dominic Ayene, what am I in? one more with Jim also no one more retirement benefit and over here Emma what to mo send a bit to me about mom to me I hear him on in Chile more to us any.
Since the day I've been appointed, I have looked at what has been done previously, and one of the issues that I've seen in the public service or in the public sector is that it's about the retirement age. But if there is a way that from birth you can be given a certain number that we use to track you from birth up to the time you'll be entering the services and the time you'll be going on retirement, it is easy for policy formulation and easy for planning. You don't even need census. You know that at the end of this year, these are the number of school-going age. You plan towards it. And at the end of the day, you know that these people are in the public services. At this age, they are supposed to retire. So how many people am I supposed to employ at a time? So it is very easy for planning and policy formulation. So I'll be working in collaboration with other ministries like the Ministry for Gender, Health, and local government to see what policies or what policy proposal we can put together to make sure that we are able to do this, and it will be easy. You can see that passport office will tell you that these are the number of people who have registered for passport. People at all times, you need your birth certificate to go for a passport. So that number will even help you to be able to do your birth certificate easily, and then from there to go and do your passport. That's why it's very easy for planning and policy formulation.
Right. Lastly, you did mention that the ethical, the code of conduct,
yes.
It is important that
pneumonia ko eyensem fufuro ma eye poye mantem so afo nmonya for rita wate wono eno de nsem ahodo na akwa mampanyifo chese ne betimi abo amene isu ahodo ni tigu for my nam so ma baby bebre na ayiwi eni afensu ye gatesa ahodo ne munyina asisie no kebe ya nkampanyifo enhwe ma excavators ahodo a wonom asizi a egu baby a enya adwuma bia esi ho semine o kase no nkebe a yemfa ne nyina ma nkrofo ko bi na ni omfa mbo antete gotam eni afensu baby efin ahyehye na ehonom aye dendin ni nyina na enyi free ho se be ansu oto a ebenya baby afa na ekoba saade a seni ensu yiri no ama ne homene so ye bewra ye ensu tobremi de enya asem keto akra mpanyifo nhwe na isa excavators a akwa akodi mpanyifo nsem nyina no munjeje mu emfa masa nkrofo na edwuma esefata no wonom emfanye
na ensu ya ho ta akwa atwe ewo yema yimo ne tete wene nkra ha no ene nam so emene de ga manche wahwe ene the Jesus Christ of the latter day saint for akomonto ade aba kira no sebetumi abo ama gama hye me banche nkra kuro do ne nyina no ensu ho nkonko ye de ma omonto ma ya dwumade fufura no akra no wonom epa ho entoma me no ye ka se no wonom besi bo ho baba akon eye edu eno akire eye ejanan bia eye 7 12 eye sita toilet wonom besi eno so baba akon eye enson de account se betumi aboa ema honimdie pare ye ene enkabom ne enkran ehote no e betumi afa ne ntoma pa de fra na no abra dwumade no wonom epa ho entoma no sei ene koye
Negbine nke minse ni wio eja kasi no ne ko wo bi ne ahe ame wolo ni kasemo ame fale femo agbene ame wose ko gbejiano ni wo gan traditional council ke gamanche foundation wo ke Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints wo ka me chunin sang Piana me coming how kunche so 12-seater. So ekpa. Kag bene amen how boreholes. There was schools no was selecting their family. Ag bene boreholes ne ekume ba ma na yewe. Ekume ba ma sakumo we. Ekume hu ba ma kole we. Ne ko ba ma bola agbene boho se baba ya kuti efen amelin ye twa de ye ha me ko to boni wo mp ke ha do we agbene onyawo ni the local government ministry hu we ne manomi ake ke wo fe no na wo hanye nya ba no yi
Eusia ye concept from ye kowa ene ne mpotemu na manebo eba no echim say ye Upper West Regional Police Command no ena me no ka say de o mabo abrantie bi kon edu a me no ka say wo kwa kosom ewe fiase asom aban ye adwumaden finhia no enson ne de waye nyina ne se wakosesi abaye bi a wenye mfinsia no eye dumiensa 13 years old ena papa penyi akosesi na one no edi mpaso agore no nya asem keto akra na enumu na ye wa police command no mo chese se ne awofo ebo modin to anamon edi nsem ikopie mu wo aposifo akache mo hwema hwehwemu mapatimi course a ekogine mu wo eye court dem nam so amakwa edu we omutimi di abo eye openyin no omo chese ma ya ade yi pa sanse bebre na wo ho awofo bi nu wo ha omo ma efa sa atibia ni mu a enya de so mko kacha aposifo wo mo nka ho asem bia na ehye wonom ho kosi se wo mo ankasa ebeye asem no eye foolish case anom be ya befie na wonom aba be kan sim no ka say de Mohammed Abudu wono na di san nyamran sem ya wo ma so ne page ne okwa akodem mfinhia no eye nso de okoye adwuma den pa e de asomaban na ye wa circuit court ho no mugina ya wo mudi asem we nyina ama police fon so e de omo na ye simbi hwe ma eye no kwaredi nso etimi akoso e wo sanse omo de futu nso koma eye mmofra nyina se bibi se e koso abrabo ni ma bomoden na ti umame ne ti omo na so ntem se be ya ensem no betimi aba bepim mo makachi aboa ama omedi echire na asotwe esefate bia no eno so edimu e wo sansem no emu
Ewosia na kansa no fabre mo ene kotonima bosom de kan won fimpe no ene ne duro no enum ene ya wada kase ene da so ti apon so ede mamona enche ye na otwe mienu miensa etwem ya ena so afọ hwe ya pom de ensam so ye no nyamfo kwa abnamenta kando ene wo ho no awayara sa hopim no apie ho wo ha pim wo apie ho na no ade wo friends entwefo nhye mu ene no omudi nkono jo so ni oye ene de eye kandifo pa dwumedie no oye ye wono a sheda ena ofato no so ayasa bia hodo amebe ko nyina me mbo obi amane ene mbo hu ane se kwa me kando me na me ni me pi he na ene o chem se enye de bia na obetena wo office na ya churchra be onabo o na ya shotu o na onabo bibia da se da bia enye de bia na obetena se don sa show dem fremu ayenhwe han se de bia yemfa mane e bon beto apon so o se de toda wan kasa so fiapun nechi ti acha mu netisim na fa we ni ko twa mansan fili gadoji no huntia we esantem na hu sanya nsema hodo no ko na enchiremu a won nyamfo kwa bena menta aka ndo so afo hwe ya pom dinsem so or friends and for ensem ne to dwan yet was on.
It's one of my styles.
Right.
Even when I was in opposition as a ranking member, I used to pay surprise visits.
You did that in Kolebu?
Yes, I did that in Kolebu. Yeah, I did that at some abandoned health facilities and all that. So it's one of my styles that I do not want to sit in the office alone.
Right.
I want to have a feeling of whatever is going on the ground. And I will want to know how Ghanaians assess healthcare, what they go through, what they see. Everybody and his or her, style. You know, there have been various styles that have been used, and for me, if you want to do the same thing to get different results, that will be problematic. Yeah. And so, once a while, and I'm not going to stop anyway, once a while, I will want to go to the grounds and see for myself what is happening there, and then try to see what we can do to change the system, to reset the system to take everybody along.
I was I serious. As all. I don't care then. Yen I ever for an swine. Imagine on when you for camera mental can on some nature eba at the casino quadri in some.
Ebusi ayenda wasemu akwa babin fambra KFM TV anopansem ni eguso tie punachi ayede esomono yes ansem ne so ewedwedie mu edi ama ode onmunyafo no hwe esaye soafo hwema eye yenyina mahode nsem omanga na ha no etimi kọ nanim na gina nam nso no eye onmunyafo John Ginapo na de hye be kaye nche bia na nkofo binum kase eye electricity company of Ghana ECG so eye hwema ye nkane a wo maimu no ade se ye ba beton na ningna na chese kasusura esom eye enwumekui na afenso eka eda ho muntimi ntua ne nam so ma nkomo ton na se be ya ebetimi aboa ma nkofo ko bi so aba be so ma ye ni ya ma enyina ma hoden se megina nam nso no eno na ne nkofo keka na na echeche wo my Ghana mu ha ne na me no kase die so afo ya ba be hwem e de aba be tuju eche de ekoso ne de nkofo keka nyina no enya de se o moton e de ama nkofo ko bia na ni nchemu ne nsem ode ka ho ne ento aso e wo kase ne so enfamo.
To Cabinet. Cabinet has chosen the option of concession. Okay. We are not selling ECG, and let me put this on record.
That decision has now been made.
It's been made. We are not selling ECG. Far from that. And so ignore the misinformation, ignore the misconception. Cabinet has taken a definitive position that we require some level of private sector participation, but not to sell the company outright. So what are we talking about? And I try to put it simple. ECG will remain the holding company. So ECG has this room as ECG operational area. They divide into 4-3. Roland company, you take one. Yours is to manage that sector or that geographical area. At the end of the month, we check how much power came to you. Just hypothetically, maybe 20 megawatts. And so we check the gigawatt hours that you consumed. And we say that this is the price. Pay us. You pay ECG. How you collect the money is your cup of tea.
So you have to pay ECG upfront?
No, you put a deposit or a guarantee.
Okay.
You put a guarantee because before you can qualify, we're going to have what you call RFQ, which is request for qualification. So that we sieve off some companies and have top-notch companies through a competitive process. Then you go to what you call an RFP, request for proposal. Then based on those proposals and based on the criteria, we eventually select the concessionaires. So that concessionaire or that company must have capacity, which includes financial capacity, technical capacity, and all the issues we are talking of. And so it's not like go and get some friends to come and take a contract. We're taking a transaction advisor. Competitive bidding, competitive process. So that we'll get a very good company. So simply put, what we are going to do is to buy ball power from ECG and sell.
Ebusantora John Ginapo na nu disemode tuja edifa say ECG beton anase yento huneno e na ode beto ye bedwem no ye gina ne nsem so na yatonkra ye bapa ye de nsem ne kwa hosepem. Mr. Sonda wasibie na mo akwa ba fambra KFM TV esuye nsem no ewe ni jidie mu edi ama odi ayekọ amare na kachi oyenyumtuni na America kreni bra no perform ewo stage so no wode nsem bi ekọ edi ma shatawale a wochemu se ba na nyumto wo manga na hadia brantie no bone homodin sene wokeka na nyumto awodo ni bom eye lyrics a ebua ma echitafo ne do no pene nyum hwe no achecha akowia safa na baby bebre na no na chese chese abrantie no bone homodin pa eyi na bro kan sansem no na chese no so di dwumedie bi ogina apaso ana wo to nyum no de sansem no etu dwape no e na wono ma na ne omoye shatawale echitafo ana se fans ne de ne omani je pa ne omubo seni ade a eno na nam so ma eye beam fans aye stone boy so echitafo no ene omumunu ya ometi kokum chese omubu efu dendende enya asemketo asanse wo munyina anyumtofo omosombo eso eni yo wo manga ne ko ba se wo bo ba kupedi na weja ba kwa so nche omunyina omoye dance hall artist na omo chese nyade no etimi etweyi na enu mu na Maria ba monsne kase de okan no omoma eye brebre embra sanse ono de wo hwe enimu se ne betimi aboa ama de okan no kredie epie mu no ene odi tu dwade ono ehu na okan ena mpo no wanka ne ye a wo mo emfa nche ni so eni che opa ode ko ediama eye beam fans e woni nsem o kan ya ode moniyon nsem ekoma eye shata wale ebusuan tin nsem ni nyina no esi eya for fida edition no ye de nyina ebe wiye ansa no ye fa sedan koma talent microfinance omo kan boafo na no pay omo so ya sne binti sika sem ho adwuma ne ntoso na wono meye sika ho adwuma bi apese omo hwehwehwe eye adwuma die no nhwehwe ahodo de ma no talent microfinance omo edi mutintima pae o pesika nso abobra o pesika edi udwuma ahodo o ye dwadi ni pesika de show sike ma hyemu kina se be betimi apagya amedwuma wo ye no etimi akyerkyera akona nim dia talent etonsa edi afro okombe ma osi ho a besiansi ho no eye kuma bi obetimi dia ye adwuma ma mpaso kese pa ene beba so edi amanta medu ne die wo mo ahyata mu bo adwuma de ben wo no na watwe pinom se ne da meka no no metimi abo ahwe ahihyo sika semi edi ama
musical center se nganje se bra be jin feed papa na fa ko yo adwuma why you like that no na be see me too na yi e bra e feed ya obetimi enye bo na bi ya de akonka ye won kra zongole kumase ye wedum usika nso na obese wo ya asafo wo ye ku obese wo gina otwa ne kaka kra san hihye no e wo ho 0244941047 na oni eni nkomo
dada ba take up next week Sunday Mother's Day Mr. Surprise o ma 11th May Mother's Day Mr. Obi a oye mother figure bia o abrabo mu wa show in a way no pacho dan odo edition kon fa chen ko dada ba take up na phones ni ho akade ne die koji bi fama no jibi fama no na chese won bodi no onfa ya sedansem ko ma ommo mpa yen hyirawo wo sa kwan ne so phones ni ho akade bia no dada ba betimi ahwa ma bibia konkan edi amafi so di ekita no ma o ha bebre nso akọ ne kotubi o ni doso po nso pese otubi koton a san hihye ni nyina no wo dada ba take up kaneshi bia ya wono mpa itakwa station e hye no hope eno no so na so ye no
na afia sa wonim se awiase de sa woni obi to nse didi aya na ye kama pa enti no ye wadidi eni wadidi won sa nyankopon wadidi eno so ya na enhyira wo mu ye wura bo so me fofora mu yi de eye den ara obepese nyankopon hyira de ebetumi aba so nti ochine anwumre se me no wa na be kan news nti ye pon anwumre na no ye ko eye Grace Chapel International Assemblies of God ewa abliko Reverend Samuel Ntiamu wa ye miracle and communion service ye ko na ye de akwa tai chire na bibia no etumi akonkan nti mama ye nhia wo ho ewa